Hello everyone. Today is not really a review, it's what's going to happen next in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've had quite a lot of people coming up to me asking me about the future films, future characters that we can see, and where the current characters are going to develop. These are the newer characters that have started to come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I recently done a review on Avengers Age of Ultron. I didn't really talk much about the new characters coming into it because I didn't want to give any spoilers away. This video here is going to give away a few spoilers of the Age of Ultron movie and possibly some spoilers of the upcoming movies. That's if they stick to the comic books. What I'm going to give you today is just a rundown of the characters from the comic books and how the Marvel Cinematic Universe could be using them in the future. So I'm going to start with the Avengers Age of Ultron. The new characters that we see here are the twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They're portrayed very differently to the comic, with a new backstory. In the comic books, obviously, they were the twin son and daughter of Magneto. Where the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't have the rights for the mutants or Magneto, they had to come up with a new origin story. So there's some from a worn-torn Eastern European country. You don't really get to see much of their backstory in the Avengers movie. It's sort of glazed over very quickly. You don't get to. You see snippets of it, and then it never comes back to it. It never seems to affect the Avengers storyline. Obviously, you've got Quicksilver, which was seen again in the X-Men movie, which fans loved because the scene in the X-Men movie in the canteen underneath the Pentagon was one of the best scenes from a comic book movie I'd seen. This was going to be hard for Avengers Age of Ultron to show him in a different light, perhaps even get better, and it's not a very good portray in my eyes of Quicksilver. Basically, Quicksilver is a man that has a faster metabolism, so he's able to run extremely fast. That's about it for his powers. Scarlet Witch, she controls people's minds. She has a telekinetic power. She can produce kinetic energy and use as a weapon, and she can manipulate people's minds. You also see the Vision come into play in the Avengers Age of Ultron, played by Paul Bettany. Who is an artificial intelligence. In the movie comes from Jarvis, who was Iron Man's computer and the Avengers' computer, and is put into a artificial body. Obviously, he's now an artificial intelligence. He now can think for himself, and the Avengers need to determine whether he's friend or foe. In the comic books, obviously, he was a friend, and he defeated Ultron in the comic books. In some of the comic books. For the films, I think he's going to play quite a big part and a role in the films to come. A little spoiler here, because he has one of the Infinity Stones implanted into his head. So obviously that's going to come into play for the Marvel Cinematic Universe Avengers Infinity Wars Part 1 and Part 2, when you'll get to see Thanos. I think Paul Bettany is going to be in a lot more movies and a very big and powerful character. On towards Spider-Man. Obviously, Sony have lent the rights to Marvel Cinematic Universe for the Spider-Man movies, because they haven't had much luck. Obviously, you had the original 1 to 3 Spider-Man, which started off very well, but it went extremely poor. I mean, they gave fans what they wanted to see with Venom, but then killed him. It was a poor death. It was very poorly acted, very poorly written. And of course came the new Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, with Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man. Again, the first one I wasn't a massive fan of. It seemed very rushed, very quick put together, and played along the same storyline, obviously, as the original Spider-Man. The second one wasn't too bad, apart from the character Electro, which was terrible. The character Electro could have been cut out of this movie and you just had the Green Goblin. That would have played a lot better. It would have gave fans a lot more exciting. The character just seemed pretty boring and actually quite a feeble villain. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been bouncing a couple of names around for the new Spider-Man movie. One of the names that's came out on Twitter and Facebook is Spider-Man, the New Avenger. I'm not sure if that is going to be the name. If it is going to be the name, obviously it ties it in with the Avengers movie and hopefully going to be seeing Spider-Man in the Civil War movies. There's been no hint at who is going to play Peter Parker. There's lots of talks about it could be this young actor, it could be that young actor. There's even talks of Andrew Garfield coming back to play Peter Parker. Whoever it is, I think they've got a big role ahead of them. It's also a very big job. I mean, Spider-Man hasn't been very popular in the films so far. Was a very popular kids' TV series, a popular comic book, and he's got a lot to live up to. Fans are going to be very critical of the new Spider-Man. He can't be as crap as Seabiscuit. Obviously, he was absolutely shocking. But I think the character is going to be looked at under a microscope pretty much. People are going to be very critical of whoever plays Spider-Man, so it's a big job. I personally wouldn't like him. This does lead us onto the Captain America Civil War.